I'm using 3 round brushes for this tutorial, sizes 4, 6, and 10. Using a large round brush or a flat wash brush, wet the entire paper. I begin by mixing ultramarine and water for the sky. The wet paper and leaving white spots will create clouds in your sky. Mixing lemon yellow, ultramarine, and a little bit of Carmine, I create a dark green wash for the background trees. You want your background trees and foliage to be lighter than the trees in the front. Your paper should stay wet the entire process, so you have to work quickly. For the trees up front, I want a more pigmented color, so I mix ultramarine and lemon yellow. I tried to use less water so that it will be more detailed. So far, I've only used the round size 10 brush for the entire landscape. I ended up accidentally adding red, which can be easily fixed by adding more color on top. You don't want your paper pooling or soaking wet because the pigment will bloom together, creating a blob. With each step of the process, I try to drag down the pigment as much as possible. You want to keep the ground closest to you the darkest value. I created a darker green by adding the lemon yellow, ultramarine, and some carmine for my darker shadows in the trees and on the ground. I'm now using the round size 6 brush to create finer details in the ground and on the trees. Wet on wet really allows the water to do a lot of the work for you. I wanted to create more movement on the ground, so I added grass. To add birds, I mix ultramarine and umber and use the size 4 round brush. I'm using the same color palette as I did for the wet on wet landscape. For wet on dry, you're working on dry paper. I again am careful about leaving white space for my clouds and dragging the blue pigment down to my horizon line. You can always use paper towels to lift pigment and create fluffier clouds. You want to be sure every layer is dry before moving on to the next step. I'm using the same green as the first tutorial for my background trees. Pressing your brush down in random motions will create a more organic background for your trees. I begin mixing the more pigmented green for my foreground trees. I notice the paper is still too wet and I don't want it to create blooms like wet on wet, so I dry the paper. Because these are trees closer, I like to use the smaller size 6 round brush. You want to make sure this color wash is darker than the background. I noticed my mistake here, so I added a little more pigment of blue and lemon yellow to make it darker. I use water to drag the pigment down and create a little body of land. I give this tree a little more details because it is closer in focus, and continue again to drag pigment down to create a little piece of land. I want to use mostly a wet, clean brush and use the pigment from the tree to create land. I draw in little blades of grass to give a little more detail to the painting and the ground. I want to make sure the painting is completely dry again before moving on. I begin making a dark green mixture with Carmine, Ultramarine, and a little bit of lemon yellow. This color mixture should be the darkest because it'll be the closest to us. I like using the brush more dry so that it leaves some white spots. I decided I wanted to add a little bit of color to the water, so I mix a gray ultramarine color and do very lightly brush strokes in the white areas that appear to be water. Again, if you would like to add birds, just mix ultramarine with a brown like umber or burnt sienna. Overall, both paintings come out looking very different compared to wet on wet versus wet on dry.